Hey, welcome back to the Corbellic studio. Today we're going to be doing another study where they're going to be exercises on gallery paper. This way it just frees up your mind so that way you can get on to the next painting and you can be more loose. That way, before you start working on canvases and you see that white blank canvas and you start feeling overwhelmed, this way you're not going to be overwhelmed because I'm just going to show you. We're doing studies that you can say to yourself, no one has to see. You're just starting your day off. You're getting loose in your muscle. It's just like going to a gym. It's just like anything else. You have to start first and then everything is going to be easy. So this is some of the exercises that I like to do a lot to really loosen up where I'm going in my day. But you know, a lot of times it's not necessary as well. It's really up to you. But you could do this every single day and it's fine, because then at least you'll have the confidence that you have 10 to 15 or 20 paintings underneath your belt, even if they're on paper. This is gallery paper, 98 pound. It's 98 pound gallery paper. People love it. They frame it, they put it behind glass. And yeah, it's going to be great. All right, let's see what we're going to pump out. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're just going to have fun and do some quick artwork, some studies. All right. All right. So we have right here, this is going to be like a cereal box. I love doing pop art because I get to do what I want. It's like abstract for me. I get to say what I want. I get to have it look how I want it to look. I get to just do what I want. Look, so we're just going to put this in the background like this. And what I love about doing these paper pieces too, it reminds me, even before working on canvas, that I don't have to have everything colored in. I don't have to have everything neat and pretty. That's what people are buying. They're buying the authenticity from you, where they want the rough edges. So just let the chips fall where they lay and let the rough edges happen. I love paper because it dries easier than canvas and it's easier to work with. But I'm going to let this dry off just a little bit more. All right, there we go. You see how quick that took? Now let's just go in there with a 1-inch brush and use some red. I like to do these studies as well when I see that my paint is on the last legs. And instead of throwing it away or starting with a new palette, I'm going to use what I have. Look at that. There's no thought about that. I don't care. Because I'm already thinking about the next painting. That's how I look at these studies. I wouldn't be able to get through so many pieces of artwork if it wasn't for me doing studies. That way I don't have to treat everything so serious. People don't fail. You don't ever fail in art, period, but you only fail because you quit. And most times people quit because they spent so much time creating these art pieces where they relate time with their art. Time becomes synonymous with art. You're like, well, I used to be an artist, but I stopped doing it because you never tell people the truth. You never say, because it took you so, you couldn't figure out a shortcut. It took you so long to create a flower painting that looks like everybody else's flower painting, and you were studying someone else's flower painting to look like your flower painting that looks like their flower painting. Instead of you being like, you know what? I just showed up and I created something sloppy outside of myself and I didn't care. The only way as that I was able to create art as well is you have to get to a point where whatever that you're going through or whatever in your life that you might be tired of, that you might be fed up with, you could just put it down and say, you know what? I just don't care. What's the worst that's going to happen? There's not an art police that's going to come and arrest you. There are no rules to this. What's the worst that's going to happen? You have to get to a point where you're so fed up where you're like, I just don't care. I'm done trying to make pretty images and pretty stuff. The pretty stuff is going to eventually come because you're being original and authentic, is what I was going to say. You can't control any of it. So once you let go, you're free. One of my favorite movies and books is Fight Club. Not because when people think of the movie Fight Club, they think of violence or they think of the name of the movie, right? But it has nothing to do with that. I mean, yeah, that's the premise of the movie is where they started some Fight Club or yada yada. But Edward Norton, who's the main character, he did everything right in his life. He did everything what society told him to do to how to control his life and how to be happy in America and corporations and working and everything that he was supposed to do. And he did everything to the T. He got good grades. He went to school, high school. He never got in confrontations with anybody. He was everything of what they society told him what he was supposed to be. And then when he had everything, he realized he didn't have anything because it wasn't making him happy, you know? So what he would do, he would try to buy things and to think that was going to make him happy. He had a condo where he thought that was going to make him happy. And then what happened is he had a nervous breakdown. He didn't realize it. And then what he did is he created an alter personality that was free, and that was Brad Pitt, who was Tyler Durden in the movie. You have to get to a point, I don't know what point it is in your life, where you have to get to a point where you're going to create your own Tyler Durden and you're free. So one of the lines that Brad Pitt says in the movie, he says, it's only after you hit rock bottom that you're free, because then you're free to do anything. But when you're trying to hold on, you're not free of anything at all. Look at that. That's beautiful. So now what we're going to do on this is put something on the side of here where it's like no tax. $1.25. So that's why I love that movie. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it just always makes sense to me. Now, even though I watched that movie, right, when I was a teenager, when it came out in 98, I still fell into the trap of doing everything of what they told me to do to be happy, where I worked almost 20 years in corporate America. And I had that moment. That's what brought me over to doing art. But then that's what even brought me over to doing art on eBay, where I was like, I have nothing to lose. And I'm tired of trying to be perfect and control everything. Look at that. That's a fun pop culture piece right there that you did yourself. We did it together. And yeah, people going to put this up. And it's a fun piece. They can put this in their kitchen. All right, let's do another piece. Let's do one more. All right. Let me know in the comments if this message resonates with you, if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it means that you haven't lived long enough. And that's fine too. Everybody's journey is their journey. You have to get to that point yourself. No one can make you get to that point besides you. But it's a great movie. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Fight Club. It's not about the fighting, it's about freeing yourself. All right, this one right here is a vintage Texaco sign right here, gas station, Petro. I love doing pieces like this because it's like, that's something that's always resonated with my artwork is energy. Anytime that I do like pop culture pieces, I do something like about energy, you know, gas or electricity, because I'm just so fascinated by Tesla, Nikola Tesla, how he created free energy, but it was the banks funded by, or Edison, who was funded by the banks of JP Morgan, to put that technology behind because they couldn't make any money. So they funded Edison. I mean, I'm one of those who believe that the Egyptians were able to harness free energy. Free energy's been around for a while, but imagine what the earth would be if we actually had free energy. You know, we didn't have to pay an electric bill. I mean, how crazy is that in 2025? Why do we still have to pay an electric bill? Why are we still using dirty gasoline? Like, we have technology that's beyond that, but that's how they keep us somewhat a slave to the system. Like, you see how I'm just going about this? I'm not thinking about it. I'm just using the proportions. I don't really care. I'm not even. Whatever happens, happens. So when I do these pieces about energy, I kind of like making fun or saying certain things in there, you know. Like, I'll probably write in here free energy or something like that, or, you know, gas along those lines. Here, let's do that now. So we'll do free energy. Energy. Right. And I'll probably put oil right here. Yeah. We'll put Texaco. And then I'll put, just like we did on the last video, we'll put that here, free land. $1.25. And then I'm done with that one. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. You just have to free yourself and have fun and create whatever you want to do. But there you go. All right, so we just did this together. I just did some loose pieces of paper art that you could do. You could download whatever you want. So, you know, a lot of times people get caught up on, you know, what references that you use or what did you download or anything like that. And it could be any kind of reference that you want. You could download any kind of thing from either Pinterest, or I also have a different list of themes that you can download that I found to be popular over the years. And I have it in the free eBay art community program. Click the link below, tap in so you can see how it can apply to you, things that you could do yourself, and how we use paper art to also leverage the canvas arts when it comes to auctions. All right, so I'm going to check you out on the next video, and I'll talk to you later.